Hey, this is Double R. I wanted to tell you that Anchor by Spotify is a great and easy way to make a podcast with everything you need and all in one place. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record, edit your podcast straight from your phone or your computer. When hosting with Anchor, you can distribute your podcast to all listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Best of all, it's totally free. So go down the Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started. This is the Let's Roll Podcast with your host, Double R. What's up, everybody? It's me, Double R. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host that rolls the most. You know what I'm saying? I got to start off with a big apology. I did take some time off. I tried to get a recording done last night. This is being recorded on Tuesday, February 8th at 12 a.m. in the morning. I tried to get a podcast out yesterday on Monday. So I tried to record it on Sunday, and I was trying a new thing out, which I haven't affected yet. So just to give you a little preview, what I'm going to start doing is when I record episodes, I'm going to record them not only audio, but I'm going to record them video. And the video will be only available on Patreon. So if you want to see behind the scenes, uncut, unedited, if you want to see all the mistakes, then become a member of Patreon. You'll get those behind the scenes recordings of episodes way before they come out. When I sit down, no pun intended, because I'm always sitting, I try to record like 3 episodes back to back to back. My episodes, I try to keep them at 30 minutes. Most episodes are 30 minutes, but there occasionally are episodes like the current episode that's out, the Haney interview along with her parents. That episode is doing great. It's in the 60s for listens, downloads, you know, however you want to say that. I would like to see that episode break season 1's record. The Ariachi episode, it got 137, or it's 7 out of 137, and I would like to see Sammy's episode go beyond that. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, once again, I'm going to start recording, or when I record, I will be shooting video of me doing that, so you can see me in all my glory, and making the mistakes, hearing, coughing, whatever. It's just going to be, it's not going to be live, but it will be live enough to where there won't be any edits or anything. I'm strictly going to record it and put it up as is. And then I'll go back and I'll edit the audio part up. The audio version will be edited and cleaned up to put out. So that's one thing I'm doing. I got a lot of plans, since I took that little time off. I thought about doing different things. We are getting back into my video game channel. Doing stuff on that along with my friend Izzy. So me and him are trying to be more consistent on that channel. But as everybody knows, sometimes things just get in the way. But with all that said, I do want to encourage y'all to listen to the podcast, share the podcast, write a review, give me a rating, give me some feedback. Go to our website, www.theletsrollpodcast.com. You can send me emails. You can do voicemails. You can do all that. Just go check out our website. But let's get on to what today's episode is about. And today's episode is about Raising Dion Season 2 review. And this episode was supposed to come out yesterday, but unfortunately it didn't. So, so in today's episode, I'll give you my little review, give my thoughts on season 2, Raising Dion, and much more. And I'll be doing this right after this. So, Raising Dion season 2 review here. And as you already know, we have a episode out on the podcast where we interviewed Sammy Haney, who plays Esperanza on the series. And I'm going to start off by saying this because I'm a big fanboy. Yes, I am a fanboy. Absolutely need her. She needs her own spinoff show. Absolutely does. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt. Give Sammy her own spinoff. Give Esperanza her own spinoff show or series. Because this young lady steals the show, steals the scenes that she's in. She's very good, my favorite character, and again, I'm a fanboy. I like her, so let's hope that she does great things in her future, and she is just killing it on the series. In the interview, we kind of ask if she has anything up and coming. There's a few things that she mentions, but she doesn't, give us great detail at all. Just says that there's some things she's working on, so we're looking forward to that. Overall, the show is a good show. It's great for families to watch. I mean, there's really nothing in the show that I would keep out of the view of children or young adults or anything like that. It's a really good show. I want to say this up front here. I am not a super duper fan. Like, I really need to go back and watch both seasons over again, and to get a better understanding of the show and all the characters and everything, because I don't know all the characters' names. I have a basis of what I know what the show is about, but it's a good show. I would like to say, if anybody out there is listening to this podcast and would love to come on the Let's Roll podcast and talk more about it, like somebody that is really into this series and all the nuances and everything, they want to come on and talk about it, I encourage you to reach out to me. Just go to the letsrollpodcast.com. That's www.theletsrollpodcast.com, and reach out to me through that, and we'll see if we can work something out. My favorite episode of season 2 is actually the season finale. I wanted to almost say series finale, and let's hope that's not true. We want a season 3. We want as many seasons as we can get, but definitely want another season of the show. So we definitely want another season of the show. I like the show, but I said I'm not really deep into the show, as most might be. I enjoyed watching it. I can follow along pretty good, but I don't know all the characters' names, like I said before. I would have to go back, like I said, and watch it again, and try to pick up on things that I might miss. Learn more about the characters on the show. I will say this, I'm an old dude, right? So, but I will say this: Dion's mom, the actress that plays her, very attractive lady. I don't know the actress's name, but and I haven't really recognized her from anything else I might have seen, but she does a very good job. And I find her very attractive. I'm not trying to be creepy or anything, but something I noticed. I think all the actors on the show do a pretty good job. What I can remember of the first season, Dion's father was some type of scientist or engineer or something like that. After he obviously has, or right before he has Dion, or they have Dion, he goes out on this, and maybe before Dion. No, the accident happened before Dion. That's right. There was a experiment or thing went wrong, and several people ended up with powers. And he later on, I guess in secret, was meeting with one of them to try to figure out why they had these powers and so on. And he dies trying to save another powered person. Well, then Dion is born and is growing up, and he gets to a certain age, and he starts figuring out or realizing that he has powers. And in the first season, it's all about them trying to figure out why Dion is having these powers, and how they're trying to figure it out but cover it up, not letting anybody know. Now the company or the corporation that the father was working for was the company that were conducting the scientific experiments. And after the father died, I guess they were looking into all the different things that happened. And there's one character in the first season, he's actually in the second season too, but this one character named Peter, I believe, was the father's best friend that also worked at a company. And he's a nerdy white guy. And he's kind of helping out with Dion here and there. And I think he also has feelings for Dion's mom, and it you find out later in season 1 he has powers, and he's we'll say the villain of season 1. He's a season 1 villain, and turns out to be a really bad guy, and not on the up and up. And Dion and has to battle him, and along with his father that comes back at the end of season 1 as kind of like a spirit ghost type deal, they defeat what the villain is called Crooked Man. And so they defeat him. Season 2 has a time jump. It skips ahead. I don't know if it's months or years. Can't remember, but there is a big time jump. And now Dion has really started to hone his powers, and along with Esperanza and another character, which I apologize, I don't remember the name of the character, but they form the Triangle of Justice. And in the very first episode, it shows Dion go out of his house, like phases out of his house or teleports, however you want to say it, and he goes out looking for, problems. And he does come across a problem where this kid is bullying this one kid, and he wants to help, but he's going beyond the barrier that they set up, the Triangle of Justice set up. And he also has to get back to the house before his mom finds out what he's actually doing. And Esperanza plays the part of, like, all superheroes, or I won't say all, but we'll just say some superheroes have what they call the man in the chair, that, talks to him in an earpiece and, tells him, you can go here or there, whatever. Well, Esperanza plays the girl in the chair, which is really cool. I like that. I like that they did that with her. But anyway, she's telling him, no, you can't go, you gotta get back. So he ends up getting back, but even though he got back, he still gets caught by his mom. So his mom is really trying to say, look, you still got to be a kid. You still got to go do this and that. You don't need to be out there doing this and blah, blah, blah. Well, he's fighting against that because he's got powers. He wants to help, blah, blah, blah. So the whole season is about trying to find your place in this world where you have powers, and you have powers, you have the ability to help people and blah, 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 but yet you're a little kid and you need to stay a little kid. The other thing, so that was the episode that I talked about, and it kind of carries on through there, and you find out the corporation is now doing good things for power people. They're bringing power people in, helping them hone their powers and understand their powers and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say about I think about the fourth episode, Peter shows back up, the Crooked Man, but he's not the Crooked Man. He has very, he still has a little bit of it in him. He still has a little bit of power, but he's coming across as, I stayed away for a while because I wanted to, I didn't want to bring any trouble, but he's seen on the news that they're having all these problems and all these holes, and there's big holes like sinkholes, if you want to call it, all over the place, and it's everywhere. Crooked Man, I think they were saying it was Crooked Man, or they were saying some kind of deal was happening, and one of them is behind Dion's school. Well, you find out that there's we'll say a part of Crooked Man that when he was destroyed, he was scattered everywhere. He scattered throughout the planet, and wherever he scattered were sinkholes developed. But the main one was at the school because that's where he was taken down. And so Peter claims that he's seen all this on TV and he wants to help and he thinks he can help. He's not the same person, blah, 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 blah. Well, it comes to find out, you find out later on that that's basically a lie. He comes in to help try to save Dion's mother, who went down in one of the sinkholes and got bit or scratched by these. They're almost like zombies. Like these people are being affected by this, like I'm gonna call it like a spore that goes out into the air, and they're glowing. They're like glow bugs, or lightning bugs, or however you want to call them. Anyway, they go into you and they turn you into this kind of like plant thing, and like a zombie character. Well, she goes down into the hole to investigate along with the company, and she's also working for the company. So she goes down in the hole, gets scratched, and now she's turning. She's slowly turning. And so by the time Peter comes along, he tries to help come up with a way to cure her and cure all these people that are this way. But you find out later on, they're taking samples from all these power people and trying to manipulate it into a cure, but he ends up injecting himself with all the DNA to not only become Crooked Man again, but to become a more powerful Crooked Man. At the end of the season, the last episode, Dion, and along with his mother and some other power people that you meet in the season, they go out to battle all these zombie-like people and to try to destroy what's in the sinkhole, so it will basically bring all these people back to normal. They end up doing that, but they go back to the corporation, and you find out Peter is the bad guy, or a bad guy, and he basically escapes. And so that will lead into season 3, if there's a season 3. And I'll talk about that right after this. So that is much of a review I can give you in plot points. Again, I would love for somebody to come on the podcast and kind of educate me and talk about this series and where they think it might go and so on. But I mentioned that it leads into a season 3, and I made a comment, if there's a season 3. Well, what we can do to make sure that a season 3 happens is share all the posts you can about Raising Dion. Encourage people to go on Netflix and watch it. Keep Raising Dion in the top or in number 1 spot for 30 days. Just make sure people are watching it, and that will encourage Netflix to make another season. And I hope it does give another season. Again, I'm campaigning for Sammy Haney Esperanza to have her own series. But overall, I mean, it's a really good series. All the actors and actresses do a wonderful job. The special effects are really good. I mean, I didn't have a problem with any of them. Only problem I have, I need more Esperanza. And the one thing I like about Esperanza, the character, is her her spunkiness. Her, like, she doesn't hold back when she wants to say something. I don't know. It's just something about her I like. Other than I know Sammy Haney, I've met her personally. I met her several times, and but she brings a lot of her, at least the way I see it, she brings a lot of her into the Esperanza character, and I really love it. I also want to take this time to thank Sammy Haney for the giveaway of the bobblehead dolls that they had made for the cast, and they set one set aside to give away, and it was a bobblehead, 4 bobbleheads from the 4 main kid characters, which is Dion, Esperanza, their third partner, and then the kid that would be considered the bad kid or the villain of the season. Anyway, I entered and I won, and I'm so happy and can't wait to get that here. And when I do, I will definitely do a video, an unboxing on the Let's Roll podcast channel, YouTube channel, and it's gonna go up on a shelf. I have a shelf in my room, and most of the things that are up on the very top shelf are wheelchair related. So they can be like little wheelchairs, toys that I had growing up. I have a Hot Wheel that is a wheelchair by the, I think it's Aaron somebody. I don't remember his last name, but he's the one that does the extreme sports in wheelchairs and goes down these crazy ass ramps and does stuff. So I got his Hot Wheel. I actually got several of them because they're all in different colors. I have South Park Timmy. Let's see what else I have. I have a Fisher Price. I think it's called Rescue something. And it's a guy in a wheelchair. And then I have a big wheelchair, or a big toy wheelchair. It's a Build-A-Bear wheelchair. And that actually held the Build-A-Bear monkey that I had in a tuxedo for my wedding when I got married. And my wife, I believe, had a cat in a wedding dress, and I had the monkey. And then I got the wheelchair because they had one. I was shocked when they had one. So I got the wheelchair and set him in the wheelchair next to her. And it was on the wedding cake display back when I got married. But I can't wait to put Esperanza up there in my wheelchair collection. But I'm very happy that I won. And once again, let's fans of the series, we need to do our part and keep the series in the top 10 on Netflix so they will do a season 3. Let's do that. Why can't we do that? We can do that. All right, let me take one more break and I'll be back with closing. All right, guys, this is the closing. I just want to say thank you for hanging out and listening to the episode. Once again, make sure you're sharing your love and support for the Raising Dion series. Keep it in the top 10 so they'll make a season 3. Also, make sure you go to the Let's Roll Podcast website. That's www.theletsrollpodcast website. And check it out. We've done a lot of stuff to it and still adding stuff every day. Also, one more thing. As far as the Let's Roll Podcast goes, I'm putting together a price sheet to advertise on the podcast. I think I'm going to have 2 or 3 different options. And based on the option, it'll be different pricing. I think the bare minimum or the bare minimum tier is going to be $50 for 2 30-second ads that will be placed in, I think, 1 or 2 episodes. It's not concrete yet, so I'm just kind of putting it out there that I am working on that. So if you want to advertise with me, you can help support the podcast, and I will help support you in getting your advertisement out there. Also, consider becoming a Patreon, because you're going to start seeing those behind-the-scenes recordings that we're going to do. There is one tier on the Patreon. It is kind of pricey, but if you're a true fan of the show and you want to support us, this particular tier is $25 a month. And the longer you stay a Patreon member at that level, you will end up getting some merch. There'll be a new item every month, or every 3 months. I'm sorry, every 3 months you'll basically get a new item, and there's, I think, 4 of them. But there's also other perks. And then our lowest tier is $5 a month. But you can go check that out on the Patreon. Let's Roll Patreon. But with that all being said, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening. And I will definitely see you next time.
Hey, this is Haney, and you're listening to the Let's Roll podcast with host Double R. Make sure you're following us on all of social media. Find the links below in the description or at the letsrollpodcast.com.